Greetings everyone, so this video is going to discuss whether you should advance or not advance. Go into tier 14 or stick into your tier, whoever you were, tier 12, tier 13. It doesn't matter. The whole point here is whether you should go to tier 14 or do something else with your Azurite. At the current stage, and sadly, there has been no real increase when it comes to the Azurite. Azurite is still rare as fuck and it's hard to collect. So the question is, let's say you have some Azurite, you have 50k Azurite, 60k, 100k Azurite. What you are supposed to do? Are you supposed to just advance and try to upgrade your stuff until you reach tier 14, or do something else? If we paid attention, what something else that requires Azurite that we have to use? You have here the Mystic College is one of the things that you could actually invest on your remaining Azurite and get some benefits, or you have here the college. Now it all depends on how much do you actually participate in the game. Are you someone who love PvP? If you are someone like who love, say, Elite Wars, say someone who wants realm invasion, if you are one of those two, then I recommend you to save all of your Azurite and invest it on one of those two, or both of them, it's fine. Ignore the fact that there is a tier 14, because a tier 14 with a trash technology can be taken out by even tier 12 freaking easily, despite the fact that it costs 1 million Azurite at least to go all the way, as far as I remember, unless my brain lags when it comes to math. But here is what I do remember, and I'm sure of, that Mystic College is permanent upgrades to you, and there is nothing wrong with the upgrades that you're going to use from the Mystic College. So now let's start with the upgrades that you would like to invest your Azurite on. So one of the upgrades here is Split Arrow. If you are an archer, this is one of the best skills that you should invest your Azurite on. I do not recommend going crazy on elite archers, but it's still very decent upgrade. It is way better than advancing in any of those, even if you try to sucker charge and get some upgrades in here, which just cost 18k I think per upgrade. I'm not sure how much actually. It will be still way much better than charging up any of these, of course, unless Camel decided to just add a new upgrade or introduce new ways of earning Azurite, because it is really ridiculous right now that how much tier 14 would actually cost you. And guess what? If you are tier 14 who spend 1 million Azurite and going all the way there, and you have a trash technology, anyone will beat the shit out of you. So now let's go back to the Mystic College. So if you are an archer, I would recommend you max Split Arrow, increase elite archers until you are able to unlock Dragon Ball and the Dragon Slayer arrow, and then max the Rain of Arrow. If you are mage, you have to go all the way and max spell, because spell is one of the most broken skills in this game. Not only that, you need to upgrade Fatal Hail to the maximum level, because it increases the chance of your critical attack, and it gets amplified by spell too. Unlike the archers only need 3 skills on Mage Killer, so they can go and upgrade Split Arrow. Even if you decided to increase Phantasm is not bad. It is literally almost 5% extra damage, and this 5% damage actually costs a liver if you are at high-end game. It really costs a lot to get 1% damage on the end game. I think it costs up to $200-300 per one. Now when you unlock elite mages, you should stick into 3 levels only, and here the same for the Phoenix Wand. You could go all the way up to 3, and again for the piercing armor, this is a very nice skill to have, but again you shouldn't max. If you are going to max a skill, then spell is your way to go. For angels, I did this major mistake of upgrading all of these, and any tier 12, tier 13 or tier 14 destroys the freaking hell out of mages. If you are not a spender and you are barely going to be your whole life in tier 12, then yeah, it is fine for me to go for the missile, the flame missiles and blazing swords, because this is going to be one of your only ways. And if you are a mage, keep in mind, if you are a mage, you would need angels, and the reason for you to need even angels is that angels hits the backline, and this is your only way currently at this stage to hit the backline if you don't have archers or this broken overpowered items. You don't have them anyway. You should not worry about these at all. Now when it comes to the infantry, there is a huge problem when it comes to the infantry, because most of the time an infantry archer doesn't go all the way. I know interfere is very nice skill, absolutely an amazing skill, but it's a skill that works only if your enemy is hitting the backline. If you have an enemy that has a lot of like archers, have a lot of angels, then this skill is freaking crazy. It is so fucking broken that it almost makes your backline tankier than the infantry itself. I swear to God, I'm not joking about this one. I had a lot of videos, people sharing on me, and I have seen crazy results. The reason is very simple, that there are reductions, there are damage increase when it comes to infantry. Like you can have an archer with up to 150% extra damage, 200 extra percent damage, but there is no damage increase when it comes to attacking the enemy archers or attacking the enemy mages. So this skill is definitely situational and you should not rush it. When it comes to the cavalry, it is completely different. Cavalry is a costly, and literally it's being played by pay-to-win players. I do not recommend any weak players or non-spenders or even low spenders to touch cavalry. I'm not a fan of cavalry. I believe cavalry is only going to be good if you are spender. If you are a spender, cavalry requires you to go all the way. It requires you to unlock your wild instinct and max it, and requires you to get a little bit of savage impact for the stuns, and requires you to have the dodge, which is one of the most broken abilities we have in the game for the cavalry. As for damage increase, it's not really that much. Even for base damage versus 8 is really, it's me for me, but damage reductions is always welcome when it comes to cavalry again. But again, the problem is going to be hitting the backline, and I will explain this in a completely different video. Now, once we are done with the Mystic College, there is another way for you to use your remaining Azurite and ignoring the tier 14, which is here. Leadership Superior gets an extra march. What doesn't fucking like a march? That's an extra march for you, extra power. I was a little bit stupid because these did not cost me much, but again, if you have some little Azurite, it's not gonna hurt, but it's not important. You should not really rush and upgrade these. And here is what I love, and I believe this is completely worth it. At 20% damage of your troops inside Elite Wars. If you are someone who fucking love Elite Wars, this is a must. This is a must. And same goes for this one. If your state, your realm is competitive, why not? And then go all the way. Of course, rally is something you have to completely ignore, and the problem with the next leadership is you have to go through these, and you have to bite the bullet and save up to 20k Azurite until you pass these trash and reach out to the leadership again, because our intention is to reach another elite blade and another elite shield. Now, yes, you are going to waste like 20k, 30k maybe Azurite to go all the way to these, but they are really cheap and they do not really look. It's 1,600 only, and it's not really going to cost you as much as advancing or doing. It's not going to cost you anything else more than that to unlock these skills, and doesn't have really much more requirements than these. Unlike advancing, I think advancing you are going to waste like 150k Azurite even before you unlock anything that is useful. You might be unlocking angels, and most of the players are right now are actually skipping angels. So again, this is my advice to you. That's what I would have done and what I'm actually doing. That's basically it, guys, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.